Hello, this is going to be your solfege video. If you have not done your note letters, note beats, outside circle of fifths, and inside circle of fifths video yet, please do those 4 videos first before doing this one. This one is going to teach you the do, re, mi words to go along with the letters. So, when we have a treble clef, and then we have sharps and flats that go along with it, say we have the key of E flat major. It's E flat major because there are 3 flats in the key signature. So that would mean that E flat is going to be do. So if we go up 1 letter from E, A, B, C, D, E, F. F would be the re. Going up 1, E, F, G. G would be do, re, mi. So re is spelled with an R-E and mi is M-I. There is a huge difference between M-I and M-E. So make sure that while we're talking about major key signatures, we write down do, re, mi, M-I. If we go 1 higher, there is no H. We learned that in note letters video. So now we go back to A. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So the A is an A flat. And this is do, re, mi, fa. Higher than A, B flat. That will be sol. Higher than B, C. And that will be our la. Higher than C is D. And so that would be a T. And then higher than D, A, B, C, D, E. We're back to our E flat, which is do. So if we keep on going, just like the letters, they go above and below the staff. We could keep going and say higher than E is F. Well, we already know that F is re. So it just keeps repeating. So higher than F, G, that would be a mi again. Same with if we went before it. 1 letter lower than an E is a D. D is going to be T. Lower than D is C. That would be la. So now we know how to do E flat major. What if it was a different key signature? Whenever we have a different key signature, we go by what it is to make it the do. So let's do sharps instead of flats. If we have F sharp and C sharp, 2 sharps equals D major. So now, instead of E flat being do, we're in D major, so D is do. Higher than D is E, so E is re. Higher than E is F sharp, because it's in our key signature. So F sharp is going to be mi, M-I. Higher than F sharp, G. So G is fa. Higher than G is A. So that would be sol. Higher than A, B. B is la. Higher than B is C sharp, because it's in our key signature. So C sharp is T. And we're back to the D note, which is do. And again, you could go higher and say, oh, well, higher than D is E, and higher than D is E, so it's a re. Higher than E is F sharp, so it's a mi. And you can continue on in both directions forever. So lower than a D is a C sharp. So lower than do is T. So you can go in both directions. So what if there are 0 sharps and flats in our key signature? Then that means we are in C major. We learned that from our circle of fifths video, so we're in C major. So now C is do, D is re, So you can just kind of make a cheat sheet at the bottom of your paper if you're doing problems from off the board for me, and just kind of make a cheat sheet like that, where you're like, okay, that C is do, D is re today, until you get used to doing it without a little cheat sheet. But that's how we do our majors. So now, if we're going to do our minor key signatures. So if we start out, first of all, with 0 sharps and flats, that would be A minor. We're going to write it in lower cases where the majors were in capitals. And again, if you're looking at your circle of fifths, I have at the top C major is 0 sharps and flats, but on the inside is the A minor answer for 0 sharps and flats. So for A minor, A would be do. Higher than A is B. B would be re. Higher than B is C, but now we're not saying do, re, mi. In minors we say do, re, me. And that's why we have to make sure in major that we write M-I and not M-E. So we have do, re, me. Higher than C is D. Higher than me is fa. Higher than D is E. Higher than fa is sol. Higher than E is F. Higher than sol is not la anymore, but le, L-E. Higher than F is G. Higher than le, now it's not T, it's te, T-E. And now we're back to A, which is do. And again, we can go in both directions. So lower than A is a G, lower than an A is G, which is te. Lower than G is F, lower than te is le. So we can go both directions again. So that's minor. Let's do 2 minors. One with sharps, one with flats. So if we have 1 sharp, it's no longer A minor, it is E minor. So E would be do. F sharp, because it's in our key signature, even though it's every good boy does fine and it's on the top line, it still means the F for face is going to be sharp. Any F you see today will be sharp. So higher than E is F sharp, higher than do is re, higher than F is G, higher than re is me, not me. Gotta always remember that. Higher than G is A, higher than me is fa, higher than A is B, higher than fa is sol. Here it comes. Instead of C being la, it is le, and D is te. And then we're back to E being do. And again, you can go above and below and continue on forever. So one example of a flat minor. Let's do 4 flats. These flats have to be precisely drawn because the flats will be on the wrong spot on the staff if they're not drawn right, and then you would end up playing the wrong note flat. So 4 flats equals F minor. So that means that F is do, G is re, A is me, and it's A flat because it's in our key signature. B is going to be B flat because it's in our key signatures. That's fa. C is sol. D flat is le, and E flat is te, and now we're back to F is do. So the last thing now that we need to know is when there are accidentals in our song. An accidental is different than our key signature. So the key signature, those flats are supposed to be there. So it's going to always be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And if it's major, it would be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But if there's an accidental in the middle of the song, let's pretend this is a song, and all of a sudden you see an A natural, or you see a C sharp. Now we're going to be changing it. So flats make it go lower, so now the natural is going to make it go back upward. And so higher than may is going to be me. So if it's an A natural now, it changes from may to me. If it's a C sharp now, instead of it being a sol, it's going to go to C. Okay? So for sharps, sharps go upward. So you go from do to D, re to re. But me is already an I letter, so there is no sharp. If you think about a piano has 2 black keys, then 3 black keys, 2 black keys, and 3 black keys. So you have that space where there is no sharp or flat note there. And so if you want to think of it that way, here's our 2 sharps. Then we have the space where there is just plain white notes. Now we're back to the 3 sharps again. So fa becomes fi, sol becomes si, la becomes li, and then ti do, that's our another space before we start our next 2 sharps. So sets of 2 and then 3. So flats go downward in pitch. So if you see a flat that should not be there, let's do a flat next to the G. If we make that a G flat now, we're going to change re to ra. So we're bringing it down a step. So do ti has no flat, but ti becomes te, la becomes le, sol becomes se. Here's the spot where we don't flatten it. Then mi becomes me, and re becomes ra. And then we're back to do again. So that's our accidentals. So the only time we change the word is when the accidental is in the middle of the song and it's not supposed to be there. If it's in the key signature at the beginning of the problem, then that means that those flats and sharps are supposed to be there, and they are regular do re mi's or do re mi's if they're minor. Thank you.